Hello, everyone. I'm very, very happy to welcome all of you to a debate after a very long time. This time, the topic or the theme of this debate is going to be on the smart city scheme. We've been hearing a lot about this thing called smart city, and the government has really ambitious plans to convert so many cities in our country into smart cities. And Tamil Nadu is like the second the second state with highest number of cities that's going to be converted into smart cities after Uttar Pradesh. But how much of this has been happening well? Is this a successful scheme? Is the government taking the necessary precautions and measures to incorporate this ambitious plan? And in a country like India with such a big population, is a smart city scheme feasible? So, to discuss this and answer a few interesting questions, we have with us two guests. One is Mr. Veeramani, who has been a resident of a smart city area, and he has faced a couple of issues. He has worked with NGOs and activists very closely and has observed, the downside of this whole plan. And we also have Mr. Dasradhan, who's a practicing advocate in the Madras High Court, who will also be joining us shortly. Hello, Mr. Veeramani. Welcome to the show. Very, very happy to have you with us here.
Hello, Punni. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before I ask my first question, as per my understanding, I think smart city is where you kind of bring in automation into an urban landscape, be it an electrical grid, be it the water facilities, water supply facilities, be it a traffic management system, or the place where the pedestrians could walk. Wherever you see you wanted to put in technology and you wanted to make it all automated, you wanted to collect a lot of data, and using the data you want to regulate the resources, conserve the resources, and also bring in sustainability. That's how you view smart city, right? What could really be a problem in implementing a scheme like this? I would love to know what, according to you, is a smart city scheme. Is this really required for a place to be to be developed in terms of infrastructure, and also to be a progressive place? And how do you see this as a problem in the current scenario?
Actually, you define the smart city clearly, but that is a definition we all know. And as a designers of the city, or as a technicians, technology people who will see us name smart on the city, they will link with the smart data collection and stuff like that. But there are mainly questions arising even in the data collection. Do we have a permission to collect the data? What is the security of the data and stuff like that? So there are many questions raised worldwide about the implementation of smart tools onto the city, making into a kind of over reliant on the smartness, the smart technologies. But what is the cost of it, and the cost of it, and where the cost is going to come in? That is actually slowly opening up into a area where we need to discuss a bit further. So what's happening is that the smart city, is it making things affordable, or is it making, for example, the basic rights, housing, water, electricity? Electricity is a basic right as per the Article 21 ruling, actually. So we added kind of electricity as one of the basic rights from the Article 21 to kind of right to live. So we are adding one by one into the Article 21 in even electricity, and maybe we might add internet to the right to live component. But we are things to be operated by the private parties. So are they going to respect our constitution? Are they going to respect our constitution and deliver the justice? Because our constitution says that we have solemnly resolved into a sovereign republic, socialist states who will guarantee justice, equality, and fraternity, and most of all, the dignity of an individual. So the dignity comes in having the basic things like adequate housing, shelter, all the basic amenities. But basic amenities are actually now taken through a private player. For example, in Coimbatore, they are supplying water through a private company, private European company, Suez. So, are they going to if there is a person who cannot afford that charge, will that right to be? Can he go without water? Can he, or should he go out of the city? What is the situation like? Say so. So what's happening is like it's becoming like a premium place. Like they're making it more and more premium place where common man cannot enter into the space, and that's where you're giving all this new terminologies, new smart all technology, but everything costs money. Everything costs a lot of money, and do we need that? What is the choice of that? If we have a smart city project, how do we allocate the budget? Have they consulted the kind of legislators, MLAs, MPs? So there's a due process for that, which is not followed. And Su Venkatesan MP from Madurai and PTR Tyagarajan MLA from Madurai raised this question. They said the consultation meeting never happened, and they never even knew this is happening. And so this kind of like opaqueness of what's happening in this black box called smart city project. If you venture into kind of slightly get into that situation, we'll see behind all this shiny words and stuff, we see a big
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, not just corruption. Not just corruption, but actually the complete alteration of the constitutional values of a state. For example, the government, union government, acting like a central government, supposed to be union government acting like a central government, is actually directly controlling the projects. They're controlling or not, we don't know, but the authorities normally say it's a central government project, nobody can ask questions. So that leads to unjustified evictions, and then slowly there's a smart city limited. What they do is each and every smart city project has a company incorporated into that area. For example, Erode will have a Erode Smart City Corporation Limited. And then Tirupur will have a Tirupur Smart City Corporation. They have a PAN number, they have incorporations, certifications, stuff like that. And they have a special purpose vehicle. They call a special purpose vehicle to implement this project. So what happens with this one is they have shares, like they allocate shares for this company, 100,000 shares. Out of that, 49,997 shares are with the governor of Tamil Nadu. Of state, and then 49,997 shares are with the commissioner of the local body, like a corporation of the Erode or Coimbatore or Tirupur, and the rest are with all the bureaucrats. So there is no participation of a legislator who's could be an MLA or MP, and conveniently they never conducted the elections, local body elections for cities, and there's a suspicion that is it because of local parties' decision, or is it a plan not to have local body elections so that will not complain through the local body because if there is local body, they will be a part of the decision making process. Right. That is the Panchayat Raj anyway. We have this decentralized local body system here. So that is actually completely taken away by a simple reason of not having the elections, actually, not having local elections. So the legislators cannot ask questions to the local authorities about the smart city projects. When they ask questions, they're not getting answers properly. So, which we can see from the interviews from Subbarayan, Tirupur MP Subbarayan, who has requested many times for the information about smart cities, and that was denied for him. And every smart city project has a consultation process, which happening from 2014 to 2015. Which who is a member of that, we don't know. We can know from the websites, but can we participate in that? Can we can we be influenced on that? who is influential, who's collecting the data of what we need actually. Do we need a smart city or a clean city? Do we need a like a walking path or a clean clean water or proper sewage? What is that? Where we are putting the money on? And also inclusiveness. Like say, are we including everybody in the city, or we are trying to remove completely take a portion of the population who cannot afford to live in the city, put them outside the city through a forced eviction. For example, they will live in near the water body, so they're using this judgments like a blanket judgments. Like for example, there's a judgment which says anybody near the water body should be, any encroachments near the water body should be removed. But they don't apply the mind and think about is the person living near the water body is causing harm to the water body, or will the water body will cause any harm to that, or is any future encroachment possible? There's no application of mind from the authority. They simply want to remove the vulnerable people outside the city. They will allocate any housing. If he's lucky, he'll be allocated a house, but 40 miles or 50 miles away from the city. So slowly, what is happening is like we are forming a premium area where this servants class will probably enter the city, paying a premium price, work for their wages for bread, kind of daily bread, and go back to their servant quarters. That's the kind of situation we are looking at right now. So there's a geo talking about giving them the kind of adequate housing in the same area if they're removing somebody through evictions. Right. But that geo is never respected actually. So that we can see time and time out, like never ever we had people who are evicted given a place in the same area. That's actually very, very rare. Actually, rare. They're simply citing logistical issues, and okay, it's not possible to give the people the same area because there'll be flood and everything. But they apply the same thing, whatever they find in Chennai, all over Tamil Nadu. They don't talk about what geology the other parts will have. Europe might have a different geology, different history, climate history. So they don't talk about anything. So they use this opportunity to clean up the. It looks like they're cleaning up the vulnerable class, putting them outside the city, and making trying to make a gated community. We used to talk about gated community 10 years back. We used to talk like an adverse way. Say it's not a good thing. But now we might have a gated community in form of smart city, and all the services might be sold. Basically, the company they're starting the Erode Smart City Limited. They could sell this to another player like Adani or Ambani, and they could handle the whole process actually. So they are corporatization of governance actually. That's the problem. Government properties they're selling. That's the one thing. Second thing is the governance itself. They're going to privatize. That is the problem with this smart city implementation. So there are HLR and I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
I'm taking this information from a report from Housing and Land Rights Network, who have made an extensive report in 2018. So they have listed many concerns. So we'll see that if you can ask whatever questions you're having, and we can go through that.
Sure. I just have one question based on what you just said. You said that there is a lack of transparency in this whole process. And when I read a few literature, I was able to know that, so many documents are not being published online for the public to, actually see what's happening. But then when you're not kept informed, have the elected representatives of the government or anybody has approached the courts to seek an explanation for this kind of opaqueness? Has this happened, and has the courts done something about it?
Yeah, this smart city opaqueness, lack of accountability, lack of transparent process, is only one person who raised the voice like a couple of years back, which is Subrahman MP. He never approached the court actually. I don't think he approached the court, but now after Su Venkatesan and PTR Tyagarajan has entered into that areas asking questions about the smart city, I think they might approach the court. And there's somebody in Coimbatore, I'm hearing from Coimbatore that they might go into a legal, questioning this process, because what's happening in Coimbatore is again a classical example of like a ghettoization of the vulnerable people. So what they do is they approach they kind of eye on an area which is having a large original population lived there for 100 years near the water body. They will remove them, and they will implement a park, a walkway, and very smart technologies like solar USB chargers and everything will be installed there. And the next to that, people are buying lands, and that lands are becoming gaining value because they're getting smart areas. Actually, it used to be slum. That time they buy a value of land, and then after that it becomes a better value when you have like a prop parks and everything. So it becomes very very kind of useful for the politicians maybe. So they might be buying through binamis. We don't know that things are happening there, and we are hearing news that parties, maybe a party like DMK might put a case, and they might pursue a case against those projects actually. But as far as the right to information, the right to information is diluted already. It's kind of diluted very badly already. So getting information through RTI might be a difficult task actually. But we can see the reports they have obtained. HLRN has obtained a lot of information, and through the information they found all this kind of evidence for opaqueness, and how much they are spending in what project. They still we're not able to get a clear picture.
All right. So is there a timeline that the government has given for the completion of these projects? Because I myself, when I visited Madurai, I could see the roads being opened, and recently in the news you must have seen, after a couple of days of torrential rain, there was water flooded everywhere, and people really suffered. The roads were just dug up and not even preserved or closed. It was just a chaotic situation, which also led to a lot of traffic congestion. So, what is the plan here? Are they going to justify saying that we will complete it within the given timeline? How would they? How do you think they will finally give an explanation for this?
So what I'm hearing from, I'm actually a public as well. I'm not somebody who's I'm actively pursuing the information. But what I'm hearing is like what I'm getting information is like most of the projects are starting and they are pursuing very in a haste. Actually, they're trying to finish it, and we know what happens in India. That we don't have integration between the two projects actually. So one person will dig the place, and then they will close it, and then another person will dig the same place for another reason. We don't have a centralized approach for that. So even that one is missing in the smart city, centralized approach for so that's the basic thing. We have the process in the corporation. We need to apply for if you want to dig a road, you need to apply for a permission and dig it and do that. Well, even that is not made smart yet, but we are implementing a smart city project. So there's no timeline. I haven't seen any timeline, but we can see many projects are lagging in there against the timeline, because there is a document from the smart city website which shows when they should be finished and stuff like that, but they all are lagging in one way or another because of the implementational issues. They're not taking the MLAs, MPs in with them. They're not taking the public with them, so they are entering into legal tussles. Like if they are forced eviction, people may file a case against that project. The project might get delayed. But again, the what is the benefit and collateral damage ratio? That itself is not even questioned by anybody yet. But now we're starting. We can see the opposition is questioning that benefits. What are the benefits of all these things, and where the money is going? People are starting to ask questions, and we have news that they are showing the existing projects into smart city and That money is being like balanced in the existing project. So that is also we hear in the news and comments from people that they are using the existing projects what they are already allocated. We don't know, but we are not legislating people, but we are hearing that kind of news as well. So then the important thing is the lack of transparency, and then the participation from the public is nearly nil. So only the elite class will participate in some consultation. For example, any like a owner of a big company or a owner of a big hospital, they will participate, but not a local person. So that is the situation currently.
True. And when you spoke about this whole concept of not consulting the public, I also got reminded of this video. You spoke about TED Talks, right? Like how people are opposing this
Yeah.
whole thing. And this person called Adam Greenfield, he's against smart cities, and he's spoken about the dangers of smart cities. So he says that instead of using machines and automated systems to collect data for you, why don't you kind of
Just
spread
people.
awareness public and do it as a community? Why do you have to bring in such posh things into the system and disrupt the existing ecosystem? However, is it because of the fact that since we are not, as a state, very cooperative with the BJP government, they think that South is always isolated and we cannot do the things we love to do because they are very much into having that control over the state. The chief ministers or the leaders, who are all locally elected by the people, have a lot of control over the place. They don't appreciate a centralization of power. Whereas in North India, is it a different case? Do you think smart cities have been successful in states like Uttar Pradesh
No,
or Chandigarh?
no. It's the same case there as well. And the report what we are seeing from HLRN, it is they have seen in all the different states, and they don't raise a voice. Maybe when Tamil Nadu will raise voice against losing any federal powers, but
Yeah.
others may not raise voice. But the same problem exists there as well. There are evictions in Odisha, and there are forced evictions even during COVID lockdown times. So there is no process, due process not followed. If you're following evictions, if Dasarathan would be there, you'd have explained what are the process they should follow. But
Yeah.
they're not following any due processes in the whole scheme of things. They don't consider, they don't respect the existence of this citizen who is actually vulnerable and poor. Even that citizen is also covered by the same constitution, which assures the dignity as well, but they don't respect that dignity. As a state who values dignity more than the constitution, before the constitution was written, we had a self-respect movement and everything. We kind of maybe a bit more sensitive with dignity is part of the constitution, but other states maybe we don't know what they think about the losing the dignity of a common citizen. But the person, the HLRN, is actually based in Delhi, and the executive person from that HLRN who released the report, Shivani Chowdhury, she's from Delhi.
Right.
Actually, they are working against many forced evictions. They're trying to help people who are displaced. So they are generally against forced evictions. So that's how this project has caught their eyes, and they made a research reports from 2 years straight. 2017, 18 they did. The 2019 report, what I'm hearing is it's really big. They want to make it state-wise report rather than one report. So
Okay.
you can see if the report is big, that means issues may be big. That's what I'm assuming. They also they're not just complaining, but they're giving solution as well. If any MPs would see the report, they will already understand and they can work with them. That's very easy actually. So they have done the research already, and if they validate the results against their own, if any MP or a government local body validates that report, they can take it and then take the suggestion and implement that actually. So it is possible, but it is problem is everywhere, same everywhere. But how we going to look may be different from different states.
You speak a lot about this eviction part, which is really worrying to hear. But then tell me this: we do have housing boards, right? In
Yes.
such case, how does the government usually do this? Do they really be very careful and take these cautious measures when they try to, give a lot of land for a particular group of people and then kind of change the landscape? How does that happen, and how is that not as bad as this?
Actually, before the smart city project, evictions were happening. Evictions were
Hmm.
happening because of the encroachments. Encroachment Act
Yeah.
1905 is a very old act, 114 years old act actually, 15 years old
Hmm.
act. So that act actually gives provisions for how to approach. You have to give a notice, first
Hmm.
notice, and then if somebody is objecting, they have to take
Hmm.
the objection and pass it to the authority who gave the notice,
Hmm.
eviction notice. There'll be another notice which will be served, and then so there'll be a different steps. Actually, there are appellant authorities where we can go, but the only
Oh,
problem is this is a very long long process actually to get a justice. So,
yeah.
for example, the person who is being served with the notice, if he cannot
Hmm.
read,
Hmm.
if he's not literate, if he
Hmm.
cannot read and understand, and if he is vulnerable section, he should get a legal aid. If he wants to, if he raising questions, he want to stress his right to live in the same place, he
Yeah.
should be given legal aid, and that is not followed anyway.
Hmm.
Even before the first case happened where there was really they didn't have any place to in Kannagina, they didn't have any place to allocate. It was really a
Right.
dangerous situation. That's the only situation the government has decided to put them away from that where they used to live. But the successive governments has completely used that example as the precedents, and
Hmm.
always displaced the people from there where they live, where they encroached and lived. They call it the
Hmm.
encroachment, but it's actually the citizen living in that area, which may
Right.
be a wasteland, which may be not, it may be a safe land. That assessment, who should make the assessment? The government should make the assessment if it is safe or not for them, and they should be
Yeah.
really unbiasedly make that assessment, and then give them a land which will not destroy their life
Yeah.
earnings, or which not destroy their lifestyle,
Yeah.
or even the basic rights to basic amenities, education, hospitals. So
Right.
there is example now. What they're doing is they displace people from Chennai and put them in Perumbakam, which is
Hmm.
again near a big lake actually. So that is again one day that will become a developed area, and then they
Hope.
will remove them from there and then put somewhere else. So it's like the core theme of the slum clearance board, where the DMK government has uh, given a better housing in the same
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
safe and better housing in the same area. That
Yeah.
core theme was completely missing in the recent eviction, and they don't follow the due processes. There are different processes to follow which they don't follow, and that is the situation with the evictions actually.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that. My last question, which is something that's been going on in my mind for a long time. Listening to all this, it just gives me this fear, as well as an apprehensive thought that should we really go for smart cities? Is it really such an evil scheme as it looks to be? Or is it really a genuine scheme which can be implemented without having to create such confusions or discomfort for people? Is it really a good idea? Or do you think it's the fundamental belief or the fundamental structure of smart cities itself is not something suitable for a country like India, or it cannot happen at all? And I would be happy to also listen to a few observations that you might have in the HLR report that you initially spoke about.
Yeah,
If you can,
actually,
shed
yeah, the
some light.
smart city itself is a project from union government. So
Mm,
what is happening in recent years, like starting from Vajpayee government, golden quadrilateral, so they're starting to put in a big massive union uh, backed projects, so central government backed projects actually, so that put the states in the backstage actually, so put the states in the backstage, and the participation of states are slowly reducing in that
right,
projects. So if
right.
they can move the idea and then they can transfer the idea to the state, and state can implement it. That is,
Mm,
every state will have a different geology, different
yeah,
cultural values. So maybe
yeah,
a state like a jungle state like Chhattisgarh or anywhere in the north, they wouldn't want anything to be destroyed. Actually, for example, in Tirupur, for implementation of smart cities, they are cutting down trees on the streets. So that is a big issue. People are looking at it, and they are complaining about it actually. So just imagine a smart city in a hilly area. So what will happen with the hills actually? So what kind of a sustainability we are achieving there? So the basic federal nature of the country is questioned through this unionized projects, union-backed projects. So even though the fund is coming partly half of the fund is from the state and half of the fund is coming from central union government. This is actually only a seeding money. They're calling it seeding money. It's actually initial to start the project, and to continue the project, they're going to invite investors from foreign investors. That is the idea. They're mooting it actually. So they need more investors to invest into the project. It's only a small part of a very big project. So the company, there are countries like Denmark who's actively seeking to enter into this project. Actually, they formed a consortium of 10 companies who made a research. They made a research in three places: Erode, Kakinada, and Kota. They made a research proposal. They made a proposal saying we can lay a green path next to the stream, which is actually not a stream anymore. It's actually a sewage path. So you can restore this stream by doing all this sewage management and everything. But what they don't consider is you want to put a green path and you want to put a park, green spaces. But there are many green spaces which are not looked after properly currently. They don't allocate the money for that project. Actually, they don't allocate they want to just do an easy hit and show that progress and get the money. So like you're going to show progress and your stage wise disbursement of loan will be there. So like that, I think they are just want to show the progress and get them fund from both the central and state governments. But what is really happening is the federalism is actually questioned time and time out with this kind of projects actually. So the state doesn't have much say into this actually. They're announcing in cities. They're given more cities to Tamil Nadu because it is most urbanized state, but they're given more to UP as well. I don't know what is the concept there. What is their logic there? So so the same. So they're giving more cities here. So what is the suspicion is like they are taking over more control on the cities, and then slowly the cities will be expanding and covering the whole district. And once this district is under control of the union government, and slowly they can take all the major cities, and this chief minister post can be ceremonial. You can just play within yourself, and then at one point you will say it's a waste of money, and then you will stop elections in the state. And like Trichy Siva MP mentioned in one of his meetings, the current authority want to control the India as 733 districts, not as states. The states are a big inconvenience for them because each state has their own diversity, their own culture. So they are any kind of uniformity they want to bring in, the states are opposing. So the final goal they want to achieve is 733 districts to be managed directly. And any post can be ceremonial, like governor post can be ceremonial. Chief minister will be another ceremonial post. And then in the next 30-40 years. So that's where they are trying to unionize. Union-backed projects are real danger to the federalism. That's what, in my personal opinion, actually. So consulting, not only the consultation is lacking not only with the people, but even with the state itself. I'm thinking because we never seen any reports from state government of what are the projects they're going to do. And one thing, what I noticed from the courts are the courts saying it's a state government, it's a government policy. We can't interfere. Even if somebody is getting affected, the court will say it's a state government, it's a government policy. We can't interfere. But they won't question the state government of their wrongdoings. So that's the situation we have. So We need a correct power, the government, who can look this all these excesses and put the project in the right spectrum, because we the smart things are really good, because we know we got the 1 rupee per minute call, which revolutionized India. We know internet revolutionized India. Internet reached even a poor man. So that's how the smart technology should be. Smart technology should be accessible to even a poor, to anybody. Water is accessible to anybody. So water is not a premium product for rich only. So the technologies should also be like that. Technology should be ubiquitous. It should be behind us, but it should not discriminate based on our earning power or value of our in the banks. So that's the only situation we have. Can be a smart city implemented that way with respecting our constitution. Then it will be a good project, and it will be a good next step. People can be very informed very well, and then with their consent, the data should be collected. The data should not be collected without their knowledge. That's the important thing. Absolutely. And then they can employ more people, and the money invested in the technology could be given to as a employment, as a job to people. So to increase employment opportunities. So that is the kind of opinion worldwide people are making, actually. Not only in India, worldwide people are making that kind of opinions.
That's a brilliant way to put it, because these days when people, not just in cities but even in rural areas, they're able to really find the problem, and when they oppose it, the government justifies it by saying that, if you oppose such things, then there won't be any development in the nation. But then when you take a closer look at issues like this, it goes as far as taking down the federal network. They say they appreciate diversity, but then starting from language, demographics, and now towards geology, they just don't respect anything, and they try to control everything, putting a common label or a blanket statement saying that, if it's for your own good, you have to wait and see what happens. But then when, people who are really involved in this bring out this truth, it's very shocking and it's very worrying. That's the only thing. The agenda is to incorporate or implement these evil schemes without consulting the necessary parties, and that's happening not just in smart cities. I think in most of the lands, the same pattern. But I really thank you so much for giving us such valuable thoughts. If you have any concluding remarks, please go ahead.
Actually, what we are people who are talking against, it's not against the development projects, actually. So people always, when a right-wing activist, maybe when they come in, they say you can sacrifice a district for a development of the state, and they can things like that. They can utter things nonsense like that. But we're not. Yeah, with the due respect to those people who want to push India into the direction of development, they want. What is the only thing we're asking is to take everybody together. Inclusiveness is our core agenda. Inclusiveness. We in India is formed by the people of India. India is not a separate entity which is dealing from the people. So take the people with them, like we did the revolution, like the DMK ministers did the revolution in mobile technologies and telephone technologies. Get the technology accessible even to a common man, even to a beggar. That's what we should make it. That's how you make a smart city really smart, rather than the smartness always have a negative connotation generally. If you are smart, that means you are trying to avoid a hard work and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be like that. So smart city should be something of a ubiquitous nature, and it should be accessible to everyone, and it should be a part of a basic right according to Article 21. So anything you kind of bring into new technology, internet, make it as a right to a citizen, like a water, shelter, adequate housing, and everything like that. You start adding one by one onto the Article 21, and that's how you can achieve sustainable development, and probably you can increase the happiness index of the whole country.
Absolutely, well said. And I mean, us discussing this can be useful to a few people who are watching this for them to spread the word about, the backstory of this. And since we have elections coming up in 5 states, we just can hope to have people vote for the right government. And the more aware the leaders are in the regions or in the different states of India, and the more informed they are of such issues, I think we can save. We can save people from so many issues and problems like this when they are able to take the right decisions and not just let the control go in the hands of one person or one entity.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for once again being here and sharing valuable and insightful thoughts about this. We hope to connect with you sometime in the future and discuss further on this issue.
Okay. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
opportunity. Thank you, Panu.